Hello and welcome. This week on Art Alive Music, we'll have a look at a very unusual workshop by the collective All Project, and we'll meet with swing singer Asa Murphy for a special interview. So first, let's have a chat with Simon Blackmore, who's co-director of the All Project and has organized a music-making workshop here at FACT in collaboration with the improvisation team from The Noise Upstairs.
Project we've been going together as a group for like maybe 10 years, a bit longer actually, maybe 12, 15, and we make instruments and sculptures out of wood and electronics.
So the workshop today, it's meant to be making your own instruments. Tell us a little bit about it. How did you come up with that?
So we've brought all the kind of things that we put inside our instruments. So generally we're kind of known for making things out of wood, but today we've just got the electronics. So different things that we might have in our instruments, just as they are. And then later in the kind of workshops, we're going to have a iLog making day where people will come and make an actual kind of more finished instrument with us, but these are basically just the kind of different elements that we might use.
And how do you manage to teach to people how to use these little electronic devices? It sounds a little bit complicated, but it's not really, is it?
Yeah, today we've been doing things really simply, so we've just kind of been taking something that works, hacking it really simply by cutting a few wires, adding something new in, just really basic things like that. Normally when you start talking about kind of, if it gets too technical, you can see people yawning a bit, so we try not to do that in this environment. Today, these workshops are really much more about playing, I guess, and sort of just actually technical skills. So we've got various things. We've got some really cheap voice recorders that make sounds, they can record 20 seconds of sound, and then we kind of figured out that if you put a resistor on the power supply to it and change it, you can slow down the recording, so it allows you to kind of play with the sound a bit more. And we've also got some photo cells that allow us to turn light to sound, so we've got different lights that make sound.
What did you think of the group today?
Yeah, it was a really nice group. I think the exercises that Anton does, the kind of group kind of exercises in playing music together, really kind of allow people to kind of communicate and kind of get to know each other a bit and play music together.
So what can people expect from the next workshops?
And hopefully we'll start to get a few people who kind of get interested and regularly come to them and kind of just build up. I think hopefully they'll become a bit more complicated in what we're trying to do technically, and then maybe we'll make more sophisticated music as well by the end of it too.
So even if you've missed the first session, you can still come next time?
That's totally fine. So the way we kind of thought about the sessions is to try and make them... we thought about the sessions to try and make them so that you could come to anyone basically, and you would kind of be able to dip in and out, but at the same time we want to create a kind of continuity and a development, so that we're trying to combine both things really, but you can totally come at any time.
My name's Anton Hunter. I co-run The Noise Upstairs in Manchester, which is an improvisation collective. We run jam nights where people come and improvise, and also I'm a guitarist.
Can you tell us a little bit, why did you decide to do this workshop today?
So we've worked with All Project on similar things in Manchester, and it seems like a really good fit. They kind of bring all their bits and all their kind of making technological things to make music with, and then we come from a more improvisational background, so the idea is that we've got ways to use these things, so we kind of like do some improvisation games and try and get people to make music, or certainly in however abstract a definition that is, make music with the things that Simon and the Al Project. So we've run a variety of workshops in Manchester to explore improvising, and it started really as a way to when you play improvised music, a lot of people don't really talk about it very much, and they don't it can be quite difficult to see how you can practice this sort of thing when a lot of it is just making it up as you go along. Finding ways to improve can be quite difficult. So to begin with, we started that in Manchester to find ways to share our own experiences, what makes a good improvisation, what makes bad improvisation, is there such a thing as a bad improvisation or a good improvisation, but also to kind of to improve ourselves. So I think every single workshop we've done, someone's perspective or someone's view of things gives someone a little bit of a breakthrough, or like, oh, I never thought about things like that. So that's really how we started it in Manchester, and then it was Brighter Sound in Manchester as an organisation who run a lot of workshops and a lot of projects across the Northwest, and they put us together with Elm Project, and we'd been aware of them. I'd actually worked with Tony from Elm Project on a concert in Liverpool actually about 6 or 7 years ago, but we'd never really crossed paths other than that, and they thought it would be a really great fit. Sarah at Brighter Sound put us together, and it just worked really well. The kind of that juxtaposition of the more hands-on thing and then the more esoteric kind of improvising. In the future, it will follow a very similar kind of pattern where guys from the Owl Project will bring either things to make or play with, or things that will make sounds in a variety of different ways, and then I'll be doing various exercises or listening games, or like so today we did some things where we all went round in a circle and made a sound one at a time to kind of see if we could make some kind of collective narrative or something like that. So there'll be lots of opportunities to experiment with things and in different structures and no structures as well.
Okay, yeah, because at first you started with this saying 1, 2, 1, 2, or even the fact of reading the books as well. Why did you need to do that at first?
Well, we talked about this, and it's kind of nice to do things acoustically first, so without any instruments as well, and without any electricity, and to introduce to the concepts. And I think some of those things are easier without the kind of barrier of an instrument, and this is true whether it's an acoustic instrument or some electronic instrument that we've just discovered for the first time. And so I think starting off like that is a really good way to then grasp the concepts that we're getting at, and then you can try and translate that onto instruments later on in the workshop.
And what did you think of the group today then?
It was cool, yeah, everyone was really open-minded, everyone, it was a good mix, some people who messed around with electronics before, some people who hadn't, some people who dabbled with music before, some people who hadn't. So there's a really good mix of experiences, but everyone was committed and went for it, and I think that's the key. Like, I think if you commit to it and don't do anything half-hearted, then something good happens every time, you know.
Right. Can you tell us, is it open to everyone? Is it free? How can we join?
It's free, it's open to everyone. If you just want to come down and get a flavour and have a little mess around with some of the things, then from midday till 1 we're running a drop-in session where people can come and just play with some of the toys and things and see if it's something that excites them. And then the workshop itself runs from 1:30 till 4. And you do have to book. There's a small deposit to kind of save your place, but you get that deposit back. So that'll be through the FACT website.
Hi.
I think it was really interesting. I'm really interested in music, and especially on electronic music. I've never had the chance to experience it in first person, but today was a really good opportunity to get hands-on on the tech and learn a little bit more about that.
What did you learn exactly? I mean, I've seen you guys playing with like little devices.
Well, we've been using mainly samplers, which is a very complex technical device. It's not that complex when you actually know what every piece is, but altogether looks complicated, and it basically repeats like 10 seconds that you can record once and again and again and again, and we've been playing with that, trying to make music, and it was really, really interesting.
You will come back to this workshop? Or?
Yes, I will come back. I'll be here for the next, in 2 Saturdays time. I'll be here.
So the workshop was really fun, a great way to spend the Saturday afternoon. It was good to play around with things that I'm not familiar with and to learn a bit about the process of electronics, and in an environment that was friendly, and discuss that as well. It was really good.
Did you expect this kind of thing when you arrived? Or?
I had a bit of an idea of what was going to happen. I didn't expect the sort of improvisation games to begin with, so that was a nice surprise, and that really helped sort of structure the rest of the afternoon sort of tasks, really.
I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. I've played music, but I haven't done anything electronic, so it was nice to play with electronic music.
Did you learn a lot of things today? I mean, it's funny because there was like a mix of light and sound.
Yeah, I did actually. Kind of the hacking side of cutting wires and then linking them to something else and having a bit more control. So that was nice, because I've been wanting to, so I'll be back to find out more about that side of things. Yeah.
What was the highlight, according to you, of this workshop?
Well, when I got to perform in front of my colleagues and making like a piece of music together, and it was really nice.
It was nice hearing everybody's. The pieces, the trio broke up into trios at the end, and everybody played for 5 minutes, and that was quite interesting seeing what came out of there, and what people made of the things we've made. So yeah, definitely the act of building the instruments was made a difference, rather than an instrument that's there already, or even a tabletop, but actually sort of making this thing that makes a sound that you couldn't make otherwise, other than from the technology side with the electronics.
And the highlight was the end improvisation jam, I guess you'd call it, where we all got to play with the different instruments and react with each other, and have a good go at learning and playing with what we've been doing for the rest of the afternoon. I'll definitely come back again to do another workshop.
The workshops are taking place every other Saturday from the 6th of June until the 1st of August here at Fact on Wood Street. After the break, we'll join Ted Wallace, who's been chatting with swing singer Asa Murphy. Welcome back on Art Alive Music. We're now going to join Ted Wallace, who's interviewed swing singer Asa Murphy.
Hi, good afternoon and welcome down to the Green Room Coffee Shop, where I've been asked, and it is a great privilege for me to be asked to interview and have a chat with the UK's #1 swing artist, the fabulous Mr. Asa Murphy. Good afternoon, Asa.
Afternoon, Ted. Nice to be here.
Asa, I've been a fan of yours for a long, long time, and you know that. I just want to know, how did you get into swing music? I mean, a young guy like yourself, what influenced you to get into swing music?
Well, thanks, Ted. It was basically because my dad was a big fan of swing music, and when I was about 12 years of age, I was looking through his record collection, and I found a copy of an album, Bobby Darin live at the Copacabana, and I remember playing it, and even at that young age, sort of being drawn towards that whole type of music. It was a live album, so I could hear that the band were great. You could hear the sort of hubbub of the audience and things going on, you know. So it sort of, from that point, I sort of knew that was a type of music that really excited me. And when years later, when I sort of started developing my musical tastes, that was the style, the only one style of music that suited me vocally and as a performer as well. Yeah.
Well, I mean, now you've become the UK's #1 swing singer. I mean, everyone recognises you that. I mean, obviously, you're at the Green Room quite regular.
Yeah.
And your shows here at the Green Room, I know, because I'm here a lot of the time, they sell out within a couple of days, and that's with no publicity. And what's your feelings about play in the green room so often, and you enjoy it?
I love it. It came just at the right time for me. I think it's about 5 years ago this club opened, and I'd just done the Alan Titchmarsh show, and Ricky was watching it, and he contacted me and he said, come down for a cup of tea, because that's how things are done, you know, come down, have a chat, and he basically said, we want you to play the club, and we talked about money, and I said, look, let's do it, forget about money, I just want to play the club, and it was opening up. And from the moment I played here, it was like I was home.
Well, I just recently bought tickets for the Asa Murphy show, which you're topping the bill at the Philharmonic Hall on the 22nd of May.
Yes.
How did that come on at the Philharmonic Hall?
Well, I've done the Philharmonic before. I did it in couple of years ago. I did the Philharmonic, and we sold it out, which was for a Liverpool lad was like a real thrill for me. And to be asked again to do top of the bill on the 22nd of May again. I always had certain things, Ted, I wanted to tick off, like, you know, like a bucket list for a singer. And there was Philharmonic was one of them. Ronnie Scott's was one in London, which I did. But the Philharmonic was always something I wanted to do. Such a classy place. I've been to see Tony Bennett there myself, and Al Martino, and Andy Williams, and all these great singers that I admire. So for me to get the chance to do it once was good, but twice, and to do top of the bill again is great, and it's pretty much sold out as well. So
well, I'll never forget this one as well. I mean, I'm just looking as well. The River City Festival on June the 7th.
Yeah.
Rebecca Ferguson's on that show, isn't she?
Yeah, I'm on the bill with Rebecca Ferguson June the 7th. That's again a great thrill, because it's an outdoor concert. So we're putting the big band in, and everyone in Liverpool comes down. Hopefully we get the weather. Last year they had 20,000 people down there, and they had Russell Watson top of the bill. This year it's Rebecca Ferguson, and I'm on with the big band just before she comes on, so that will be I'm looking forward to that one as well.
That's good. And there's another big show coming off at the Green Room, July the 10th.
Yeah, love coming back here.
Is the big band with you that night?
We have an 8-piece with us that night.
8-piece, yeah.
And it's with this venue, I tend to do a little bit of a different show. We do the classic swing stuff, but because the Green Room of a Friday and Saturday night is such a lively environment, we do a little rock and roll spot as well, which I really, really enjoy.
So what's future albums? What have you got planned for that?
Well, we're not sure yet. We're possibly thinking of doing a live album next here at the Green Room, because we're bringing the big band back here the second half of the year, possibly
September. Would that be change to swing or
music? Yeah. And we're thinking of doing live at the Green Room. Basically, I suppose a bit of a tip of the hat to the first album that I ever played, Bobby Darin live at the Copa. I've always wanted to replicate a live album with that feel, so we probably put the full 18-piece in, and we record the album live, warts and all.
Fantastic. You've got to tell me about this. Maybe a rumour, maybe truth. What I've heard that there's a show going to be on the Green Room soon, and it's called the Wool Pack.
The Whack Pack.
The Whack Pack.
That's the Wool Pack.
Emmerdale Farm.
We'll film it there in the pub.
Yeah. No, what is it? The Whack Pack.
The Whack Pack.
The Whack Pack.
Yeah.
So that with a reference to the Rat Pack.
Yeah. It's a bit of fun. It was an idea that was suggested. There's so many great artists in Liverpool who work, but not many of them get the chance to perform together.
Nice.
So someone said, why don't you do a sort of Rat Pack show where you're all on the stage together, and then at different times. There's no real format to it. You know, basically it would probably be Steve Charles, great soul singer, Danny Roman, who's done Tom Jones for many years and a great singer.
In their own style, or
yeah, in their own style.
Not tribute to
no, just in their own style. Jamie Summers, who plays here, myself, Ricky Tomlinson's going to be involved as well, and yourself, hopefully. And we'll basically do what we all do at some point, but we'll have a bit of a laugh and a bit of fun. There'll be a lot of Mickey taking out of each other's styles.
So it's not totally serious then, no?
Oh no, it's going to be just basically. Some points we'll do what we do. You know what I mean? Steve will do some soul music. I'll do a bit of swing. Jamie will do what he does, and a couple of pirouettes, no doubt. And Danny will do a bit of Tom Jones. And in between, we'll just take the Mickey out of each other, and we're going to have a bar on stage. So there'll be we'll have a bit of fun. That's getting. That whole script is getting written now, so that will probably be around August, September as well here at the Green Room.
That's something to look forward to, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't wait. It'll be fun. Yeah.
So what's the future for Asa Murphy now?
Well, just to keep. I've always tried to be consistent So to keep the shows fresh, keep them consistent. Again, at the project I'm involved in this year is called Bringing Back Swing, and what I want to do is I want to give as many people the opportunity to see my act or swing music done with the full 18-piece. Now this weekend I've got 3 sold-out shows in Liverpool with the full 18-piece. So tonight is the first show, Saturday and Sunday afternoon, and then later on, right throughout the year, we're going to try and put the 18-piece in as many venues as we can.
So where's tonight's show?
Up in Orton, just outside Liverpool.
Okay.
And again, brilliant, superb band, 18 great musicians playing all classic swing music from Frank Sinatra, Bobby Darin, Matt Monro, Jimmy Rosselli, all these top swing artists, but done with the big band as it should be done.
Well, there we are, folks. That concludes my interview with Asa Murphy, the UK's #1 swing singer and indeed the UK's #1 entertainer. And it's been an absolute pleasure for me to do this interview, and I look forward to seeing him again in the future. Asa Murphy, folks.
Thanks very much, Ted. Thank you.
That's all for today in Art Alive Music. Join us next time.